Now, one of the easiest ways that you can get more sales on Fiverr is to add a video to your gig. Now, it's very easy to do. Once you're setting up your gig, you can just come across to the gallery section here and you can just add it in. Now, this is, as Fiverr says, this is guaranteed to boost your sales. And they used to advertise this as it'll boost your sales by 220%. And I guess they got that figure from looking at their data sets and analyzing hundreds and thousands of gigs. So they don't advertise that figure anymore for some reason, but I think it's the approximate impact that a video can have. So it's absolutely huge, and it can be critical, especially for getting those early sales on the Fiverr site. So the reason that it can get you a lot more sales is because when a person is scanning through the different options, you're in a marketplace, you're competing with people here, and what people make that first decision on what gig they're going to choose is simply which tab are they going to click on. And if you have a human face, they're probably going to click on it more. But even if you have this icon here, it stands out a lot more than the other gigs here. So, we can just click into mine, for example. Now you can see that the video, it's a huge portion of the page. It's right at the top of the page, and so it's very likely that somebody's going to click on this once they click through. And the importance of it as well is that if they can see your face or at least hear your voice, it builds a lot of trust, and more trust makes it easier for people to part ways with their money. And so it's a huge factor. Online sales, trust, and the way to build a lot of trust is through the video. So, it is an optional thing, as you can see here, but I would really recommend that you do it. In terms of how the video should be structured, you can see here, it can be the MP4 or AVI format. File size can be up to 50 megabytes. And what they don't say here, but some of the other requirements are that it should be at least 30 seconds long and no longer than 60 seconds. So I think my one's 45 seconds. And I'll talk in more detail the structure of my actual video, but the requirements are 30 to 60 seconds. And you must say that, the phrase exclusively on Fiverr. So, the way I say it in the video is right here, exclusively on Fiverr, I'm offering you my whatever. But that is the phrase that you have to say. And once you submit your video, it won't go up automatically. It needs to be reviewed by somebody. And I think the key things they're looking for are that you said the phrase and, that the quality is okay or whatever. So in terms of, what are you going to say in the video? I'll just talk through what I've said in the video, because if I play it, the audio won't be so good. But essentially I say something like this, do you have low conversions, high bounce rates, or a big drop off during the checkout? That's my first line. So what I'm trying to do is get them to identify, the problem that they have. Can I solve the problem that they have? So once they know they have that problem, maybe low conversions on their site, I say, I understand it can be difficult to understand what you're doing wrong. So I'm sympathizing with them. Then I can say, that's why I'm offering here exclusively on Fiverr my outside perspective to help pinpoint what's going wrong. So essentially, they don't know what's happening on their site, why they've got low conversions. I'm coming in offering an outside perspective to tell them what's wrong. I'm not going to solve it for them. I'm not promising them that. I'm just giving them my outside perspective. Then I start to lay in some credibility. So I say I'm a top rated seller here on Fiverr. I have reviewed over 1,000 websites in this gig. And I've received hundreds of 5-star ratings. So that's the credibility. Why, anybody can review a website, but what makes me different is that, I've got all that credibility there that makes it sure that it's going to be good. And that I'm not just going to be saying nonsense. So, you mightn't have that credibility up front, so you got to think about creative ways. You can say, you've 12 years experience in the industry, even if you weren't offering this gig for 12 years, or some other angle that you have. And if you don't have that, well, then maybe you can really just focus in exactly on what you're going to deliver. Now, I leave it quite high level. I just give the credibility. And then I say to them, check out the description below to see the full gig details. And you should add the gig extras if you want a more detailed analysis. So what I'm trying to set them up for there is, look, for $5, I can do so much. But if you want a detailed analysis, you kind of got to pay more. And so I don't say exactly what I do for $5 because I really want to get them to start looking at these gig extras, and to have a good understanding of what exactly they're getting. And then, at the end, I just say the call to action is, so if you want to increase your sales and conversions, just go ahead and click that order button today. So that's essentially the outcome that they could get out of this gig. So that's the video. I mean, the main purpose is to, I think, build trust, to get them to hear your voice or see your face. It's very easy to do. In terms of the software, I would recommend the one I'm using right now. It's called Screencast-O-Matic. It's free. You can use it on PC or Mac. You can record your face with a voiceover, or you can just record the screen with a voiceover. Probably with your face would be better, but if you're not comfortable or your camera just isn't good enough, you can just do the screen, and you can even just be talking over some slides with some images. Those are other options for you. So that's really it. I've told you the importance of using the video in terms of getting more sales. It's guaranteed to boost your sales, and this is something you should do from the start, from a brand new gig. You don't need to have to build up a great script or credibility or anything. It's just more letting people know, what you're about. Then in terms of the structure of the video, I've given you an example of what I do, and that's potentially something you can follow. And then in terms of the software, I've given you this suggestion as well, Screencast-O-Matic. There are lots of other softwares that you could use. There's one called Adobe Voice, which is pretty good. It's an iOS app, but it's pretty cool. I've seen some people do some very interesting things with this. And so that's potentially something else you can use. So the bottom line is, having a video will help you stand out against the competition. It'll get you more sales. So I really recommend that you use it.